Welcome to World News Tonight. New revelations about the net worth of senior staff in President Trump's administration. The possible conflicts of interest surrounding what may be the wealthiest West Wing in American history. Deadly force, the body cam footage, a dramatic confrontation between police and a suspect. The chase, then the takedown. Hotel poisoning, an entire building evacuated. Children passing out at the pool, rushed to the hospital. Did a carbon monoxide leak spark this deadly danger? Flooding disaster, a water avalanche crashing into a city in the middle of the night. Rivers of mud and debris killing more than 150 people, hundreds more missing. And tonight, the death toll rising. Plus, buzzer beater, one of the biggest upsets in college hoops history, snapping one of the most incredible winning streaks ever. Is it the end of an era?
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Tom Yamas, and we begin tonight with a fuller financial snapshot of White House senior staff. A trove of financial disclosure forms spelling out the astounding wealth of President Trump's team, adding up to at least $12 billion. Sparking new debate tonight, the roughly $740 million real estate and business empire of son-in-law Jared Kushner and first daughter Ivanka Trump as they work alongside the president. Chief strategist Stephen Bannon reporting nearly $200,000 in consulting fees last year from Breitbart News. The vast disclosures answering some questions, but also raising many more. ABC's David Wright starting us off tonight from the White House.
Tonight, a rare glimpse inside the rarefied world of Donald Trump's West Wing. The collective net worth of the president's senior staff and cabinet officials, at least $12 billion. Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, alone details a real estate and business empire worth up to $740 million, benefiting him and his wife, Ivanka. Both are unpaid White House staff members, but Ivanka Trump retains her stake in the newly opened Trump International Hotel here in D.C. The property her father frequently visits. Her stake valued at $5 to $25 million.
That hotel is full of conflicts of interest. It's going to be an ethics quagmire.
The president's controversial chief strategist Steve Bannon lists assets worth up to $54 million. Populist rage, channeled through conservative media enterprises and consulting, has clearly been lucrative for him. Advisor Kellyanne Conway and her husband worth up to $40 million when Trump took office. Among the most modest members of the senior staffers, spokesman Sean Spicer lists real estate holdings valued at up to $5 million. Chief of Staff Reince Priebus lists assets worth a mere million or so and earned $500,000 a year as head of the RNC.
It's an ethics nightmare.
Richard Painter is a former Bush administration ethics czar, now part of a watchdog group that's suing Trump over his refusal to divest from his business interests.
A lot of the people who are working in this White House have substantial investments in privately held companies, and we need to know much more about where they're borrowing their money, or we're not going to know what the conflicts of interest are.
Today, President Trump vented his outrage at the ongoing probe into Russian meddling in the November election, an investigation he's previously called a witch hunt. Trump tweeted, "It is the same fake news media that said there was no path to victory for Trump that is now pushing the phony Russia story, a total scam." But this weekend, angry constituents taking a different view faced down the Republican congressman leading the House probe, calling the watchdog a lapdog. Republican Devin Nunes used to work for the Trump transition team. He's been accused of diverting the focus toward Trump's claims that President Obama spied on him.
There's not a better person in the House of Representatives to do this investigation than me, because I've been the one who's warning about Russia for a long, long time.
And David Wright joins us live from the White House now. There's late-breaking news tonight about former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and his financial disclosure.
That's right, Tom. In his initial disclosure, Flynn did not list payments for speeches from 3 different Russian companies. Just yesterday, he filed a form correcting that omission. No comment from the White House, but in the midst of all this chatter about Russia, it's bound to raise some eyebrows.
The former general still causing trouble for that White House. All right, David, thanks so much. And of course, all the latest on This Week Tomorrow, plus Martha Raddatz with U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley. Turning now to the tense confrontation with police escalating into a deadly shooting, all of it captured on body cam. Here's ABC's Ron Claiborne with that video.
It begins routinely enough. Roy, Utah police officers confronting Nicholas Sanchez, suspected of loitering outside of a gas station convenience store.
But we didn't talk to him. Let's go.
Really?
Or do you just want to be arrested right now? It's your choice.
What did I do, though?
Sanchez ignores the officer's command to approach him.
Keep your hands out of your pockets for me.
Oh, sorry. Look, hang on.
But when he raises his sweatshirt, a gun can be seen in his waistband.
No, you got a gun on you. Do not reach for it in your pocket.
What?
Suddenly, the man bolts, chased by one cop, the other police officer trailing.
Look at your hands! Look at your hands!
The officer's body cam video does not show exactly what happened, but moments later, Sanchez was shot dead by 16 bullets, including one from his own gun, fired by the officer who chased him. That shooting was back in February. Police say that Sanchez had an extensive criminal history, including weapons charges. Those two police officers, they are on paid administrative leave, pending an investigation by the Sheriff's Department. Tom?
That body cam video, no doubt part of that investigation. All right, Ron, thanks so much. Next to the deadly accident at a hotel in the Midwest, children passing out at the pool rushed to the hospital unconscious. Officials say dangerously high carbon monoxide levels were seeping onto every floor throughout the building. ABC's Adrian Banker picks up the story.
Tonight, a frantic call for help. Toxic fumes inside this Michigan hotel, killing a 13-year-old boy and poisoning nearly a dozen others.
Have a report of approximately 6 to 7 children in the pool area, all unconscious.
Witnesses say kids were playing at this pool when they started to get sick and called an adult for help.
My mom hurried up and went down there, and she said when she arrived, all the kids were surrounded the pool, passed out, throwing up.
One child dead. The victims, middle schoolers, rushed to the hospital.
I walked past the pool, and there were literally just 5 bodies.
Hotel staff and police also being treated after racing in to help.
They opened up doors and called 911 right away.
Officials say the culprit, a lethal dose of carbon monoxide, more than 16 times what is safe, coming from a faulty pool heater. Every year in the U.S., there are more than 400 deaths and 20,000 are admitted to emergency rooms for carbon monoxide poisoning. Investigators still trying to determine whether the hotel had carbon monoxide detectors. The hotel telling ABC News it is working closely with local officials and that their highest priority is the safety of their guests. We're told this was a group of middle schoolers out on spring break, set to come home today, but they wanted one more dip in that pool. Tom?
An incredibly sad accident. All right, Adrian, thanks so much. And we're learning much more tonight about the tragic church bus crash in Texas that killed 13 people. New video appears to show the moments beforehand. Witnesses say if you look closely, this is the pickup truck that caused that accident and that the driver admitted he was texting right before impact. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez with the latest on this tonight.
Tonight, disturbing new cell phone video showing that pickup truck swerving on a rural Texas highway.
Somebody needs to stop them.
Just minutes before authorities say it crashed head on into this church bus, killing 13 people on board.
You're talking about grandmothers, grandfathers. There was a husband and wife on that same bus together.
Jody Kuchler was trailing the truck for a half hour Wednesday, watching as it crossed into oncoming traffic, coming dangerously close to this truck.
He's all over the road, both sides. Somebody needs to stop this guy.
Kuchler's girlfriend recording this video from the passenger seat while he called and made a plea to sheriff's departments in 2 counties.
He's going to hit somebody head on or he's going to kill his own damn self. Somebody needs to get this guy off the road.
Just after that devastating crash he predicted, Kuchler says he pulled over, and the 20-year-old driver, Jack Young, admitted to him that he'd been texting behind the wheel, a claim the NTSB says it's investigating.
You can't be texting and driving all over the road for that long.
Texting and driving is illegal in 46 states. Texas is not one of them. Young and just one person on the bus survived. No charges have been filed. Tom?
Another violent reminder of the dangers of texting and driving. Marcy, thank you. Moving overseas now to the devastating images coming out of Colombia. Intense rains triggering an avalanche of water and mud. Families with young children and elderly grandparents swept away as they slept in their beds when 3 rivers overflowed. ABC's Stephanie Ramos with the latest on rescue efforts.
Tonight, more than 100 people killed and hundreds more missing as mudslides devastate a southern town in Colombia. Mud and debris crashing into homes, killing people in their sleep. Heavy rainfall caused 3 rivers to overflow, triggering an avalanche of water, wiping out entire neighborhoods. Survivors say the avalanche of water was so strong it shook buildings. Bridges like this one toppled. At least 154 people confirmed dead, 220 more missing, and at least 400 hurt. Villagers desperately digging for survivors. Soldiers making their way through the destruction, carrying bodies on makeshift stretchers. Through muddy waters, this baby safely rescued. Colombia's president flying into Mocoa soon after the disaster to oversee rescue efforts. Colombian authorities are right now trying to move people out of the town because there's a threat of more dangerous flooding. Tom?
That entire town wiped away. All right, Stephanie, thanks so much. Next to the political crisis in Venezuela, President Nicolás Maduro and the Supreme Court backing down from their joint power grab after massive violent protests claiming Maduro is turning into a full-fledged dictator. Maduro asked the Supreme Court to strip the legislature of some of their power. The court today released new rulings that apparently reinstated Congress's authority. And the dramatic pictures out of Paraguay tonight. Take a look at this. Protesters storming Congress, setting the building on fire. Police fighting back with water cannons and rubber bullets. Clashes erupting after lawmakers tried to change the rules there, allowing the president an extra term in office. And this late headline tonight, the president firing an interior minister and top police official after a young opposition leader was killed in connection with those protests. Back here at home now to new clues in that manhunt for the teacher accused of taking off with a former student. The baffling case has law enforcement scrambling for several weeks now. ABC's Eva Pilgrim with the new developments.
Tonight, the search intensifying for that Tennessee teacher and the student he allegedly kidnapped almost 3 weeks ago. Investigators releasing video of the first confirmed sighting of the pair.
I feel at least hopeful that I've seen her.
50-year-old Tad Cummins and 15-year-old Elizabeth Thomas captured on this Walmart surveillance camera in Oklahoma City on March 15th, 2 days after they disappeared from Columbia, Tennessee, almost 700 miles away. The new picture showing only small changes to their appearance. Thomas's hair darkened red, Cummins' gray facial hair now brown.
She looks subservient to him, walking behind him, looking to him. You know, it's a very scary image.
The two disappeared after Cummins was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with his teenage student.
He was certainly putting a lot of planning into disappearing. He searched what size mattress will fit in the back of a Nissan Rogue.
Authorities telling ABC News Cummins packed warm weather clothes, shorts, and T-shirts, but now think he could be anywhere.
For Elizabeth Thomas.
Today in Tennessee, green ribbons at a festival in town, a reminder of the search, and tonight, a symbol of hope.
Elizabeth, if you can hear me, please come back to us.
And there is a $10,000 reward for information that leads authorities to the teens. Investigators say it's important that those tips keep coming. It just takes one to make all the difference, Tom.
And again, that video from 2 weeks ago, yet they still can't find where these two are. All right, Eva, thanks so much. We want to turn now to weather. Winter just not letting go on this first day of April. Boston and elsewhere in New England still chilled by snow, mixing with rain. And take a look at this drone video of severe storm damage in Virginia. It's now confirmed it was an EF2 tornado with winds of up to 120 miles per hour that slammed Chesapeake and Virginia Beach. Senior meteorologist Rob Marciano standing by in New England with the forecast and some of that snow. Hey, Rob.
Down that severe weather coming in the warm sector of the same storm that brought this cold snow to New England. Over a foot of snow falling just about an hour north of Boston. The storm now beginning to head out to sea, and the snow is winding down. Should be melting here quickly tomorrow with a strong April sun. Meanwhile, the next storm coming into Texas going to bring severe weather, I think, to Dallas tomorrow. I-35 all the way down to Austin through the lunch hour, then pushing east into Houston and Lake Charles, Louisiana, all into the gun. A moderate risk of thunderstorms there. Could be strong ones, could be long track damaging tornadoes along the I-10 corridor. A serious situation we'll be watching carefully tomorrow. Tom?
All right, Rob, thanks so much. There's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday. A devastating fire takes down part of a major highway. Fears the same thing could happen on roadways nationwide. Are your highways at risk? Plus, a car crashes through an apartment wall, coming to a stop where two children were sleeping. their condition ahead. And one of the biggest upsets in sports history, a record win streak over. Who was able to topple the giant?
This is ABC World News Tonight, brought to you by Ace, the helpful place.
You have a list of things. None of those things say wander around a warehouse looking for somebody to help you, or walk out not knowing if you got exactly what you need. Nope, you have a list of things, and Ace has them, from the brands you trust. We also have people like Pete who ask the right questions to make sure you get everything you need. Because at Ace, we have our own list, and great service is at the top.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. And the wolf huffed and puffed.
Like you do sometimes, Grandpa?
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe. It can be hard